Hi, welcome back to Blessings Diaries. This is the third video of the channel. The first one was an introduction about my intentions. The second one was my first story. And today I would like to talk a little bit more about myself. So you can call me Diane. I was born in Venezuela with French parents, and I have two sisters. One was born in Argentina and then the other one in Brazil, and I'm the third one. And when my mom was pregnant with me, she got sick, and doctors believed that she had hepatitis. So it was very hard for her to find people to help her at home because everyone was scared of being contaminated. And my dad was working very hard at a job of engineer in the oil industry. And because of that disease, I was born premature. And my mom was very weak, and her heart stopped during giving birth. So she had to be reanimated, and it was found later that we had incompatibility of blood, and basically my immune system was fighting her blood, and her immune system was fighting me. So I was born very sick, and I almost died about 12 times because my lungs weren't developed and my liver neither, so I stopped breathing several times. And we were in a small town in Venezuela, and the closest hospital actually was not equipped to receive premature babies. So my dad had to go run and buy a lamp for UVs to reduce the bilirubin level in my body. So it was this very chaotic birth, and it took me about 6 months to 1 year to really start growing normally. So this is the testimonial of today, is that we were in the midst of this chaos, so blessed to meet people who guided us towards the right caretakers. And the hospital that did blood transfusion for me when I was born, we found out later it had just been inaugurated. So although my parents thought at this moment that everything was so chaotic, everything was actually a huge blessing. We also have been able, when I was around 1 year old, to meet a doctor in France that had just started doing some research on tapping for mucoviscidose kids. And the tapping therapy actually helped my lungs to finally develop, and I finally started growing around 1 year old. And the funny thing is, my parents registered me in the city hall in Venezuela only before we left Venezuela, when I was around 6 months old. And I was so sick that nobody thought I was going to make it, and thus probably the delay in the registration. So they just did it before we left Venezuela due to the lack of proper care in that small town where they were, and also to be able to go back to France and find specialists for prematures. So this was a big blessing at the end, how I've been able to survive through the premature birth, how my mom has been reanimated, and how I'm here to talk to you guys with no consequences of this premature birth. So yeah, I guess this was my first huge chance in life, and I'm very willing to grab that chance and make something useful of the rest. So hey, this was the birth story, and I hope you liked it, and let's see what I'll be telling you tomorrow. Bye bye.